What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And just for a second, imagine one day this kid comes into your school with all this fancy stuff and you're like, wow, okay, that's cool. But this kid just keeps flexing and he's being super annoying about it. But then all of a sudden it's exposed that he actually stole all of this stuff from his mom. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. This didn't happen to me, but this happened to a subscriber who submitted this story, and that's what I'll be telling today. So sit back, relax, subscribe if you're new, and let's just jump right into this pretty crazy story. This one's going to be a bit of a longer one, so make sure maybe put this on while you're doing something, maybe get something to eat, I don't know, but just get comfortable and let's jump right into it. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Kyle. So anyways, right, there's this kid in Kyle's school who we're going to call Ben. And this kid, Ben, was always kind of a little bit annoying. He was always a little bit of a jerk. But he's also like he was an okay dude, I guess. And they all kind of knew him. However, one day, this kid, Ben, came in and he was completely blinged out. He was like Bling Bling Kid from that one show. I think Johnny Test, I think. Yeah, but anyways, he came in with a fancy golden watch. He had the new iPhone 27X Plus. I don't even know what it would be, right? And he also, in his backpack, he literally brought a brand new Xbox in his backpack. Like, he didn't even bring any school supplies that day because he just had room for the new Xbox or whatever. So he sits down at the lunch table, and Kyle and all of his friends are kind of standing around or sitting around there talking about whatever. And he sits down, he goes, ahem, and they all kind of look at him. And then he goes, notice anything different? And Kyle's like, I don't know, dude. Did you get like a haircut or something? And he's like, no. And then he takes out his phone and puts it on the table. And it's like the new iPhone 27 Plus or whatever. And they're like, oh, nice new phone. Cool. And then he goes, ahem. And he just puts his like wrist down and shows off his fancy new watch. And, you know, they're like, oh, nice drip, dude. Like, that's cool. He says, oh, that's only the start of it. And he takes his backpack and he puts it on the table and he unzips it and there's a brand new Xbox in there. And one of the kids is like, oh, dude, sick. Like, you got an Xbox? Like, did you get all this stuff at once? And he's like, mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, was it your, like, birthday or late Christmas or something? It was, like, the middle of, like, June, so, or not June, it's during the school. It was very far away from Christmas, so it was obviously not Christmas. And he's like, no, actually, I recently won the lottery. And they're all like, what? And they immediately don't believe him, but he also has a ton of stuff in front of him, so low-key, they did believe him. And he was just kind of like, yeah, so no, you guys, you don't understand. Like, I was just out there in a convenience store, and they had a lottery ticket. My mom's like, don't buy it. Like, the odds are against you. But I was like, dude, mom, like, the odds are always for me. I'm, like, the luckiest guy ever, and I totally worked for it, and I deserve it. So she's like, all right, I'll get you a lottery ticket. And I said, no, mom, I'm going to use my money, so it's more lucky. And I went in there, and I gave them the lottery ticket. I literally won $1 million, guys. You won't believe it. That's why I have all this new cool stuff. I mean, as you guys know from the title, this is a massive lie, but all the kids at the table are like, oh, wait, for real? Like, that's incredible, dude. Like, wow. So Kyle is immediately like, I don't know about that, but okay. I mean, I guess it adds up. I mean, he has all this new cool stuff, and when the average person wins the lottery, they go ahead and buy like a mega yacht and then go into debt. But yeah, I guess so, dude. Like, sure, cool. And yeah, anyways, so he's kind of just like, okay, word. And the spoiled kid is kind of looking around. He's like, I think he was kind of expecting like a bigger reaction from all of them. He's like, guys, I won $1 million. Hello. And they're all kind of just like, yeah, dude, like, that's sick, bro. Like, congrats. Like, that's nice. Good work, I guess. Like, okay. And yeah, the spoiled kid was like, okay. And then he goes around, the spoiled kid gets up and he leaves and goes to another table. And Kyle looks over, and the spoiled kid is literally about to do the exact same routine. He looks over, and the spoiled kid takes out his phone, puts it on the table, says something, puts his watch on the table, says something, takes his backpack, and shows it off, and then he's obviously telling them that he also won the lottery ticket for $1 million. And the kids at the table are like, damn, like, I didn't know that I was ever going to know someone who would have won more than $10 in a scratcher, dude. Like, that's crazy. And Kyle's like, yeah, I mean, kind of sucks that it's him because he's kind of a jerk, but, like, I guess that's out of our control. I mean, maybe he's just going to blow it all. At this rate, it looks like he's going to blow it all. Yeah, Kyle says that, like, low-key, he was kind of preying on the downfall of this kid, but turns out he didn't even need to have to pray, right? So, yeah, this kid, Kyle, goes on for an entire week of straight flexing because the next day he comes in and he sits down at the lunch table. And he has a new watch. Like, I'm not saying that these are like Pateks or Patek. I don't know. I'm not a watch guy, or Rolexes or something, or that really fancy Roblox one where you have to pay a whole 10 Robux for it. No, but he comes in with a new watch, and he also puts an iPad down on the table, and he's like, "Ahem, guys." And yeah, so sure enough, all the other guys are like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he's like, "Do you like my new iPad?" And they're like, "Yeah, I guess." And Ben's like, I guess. I mean, it's the new iPad. It's pretty sick, if I ask myself." And they're like, "Yeah, well, I mean, you want $1 million. This isn't like anything crazy. Like, this isn't anything that impressive, I guess." And he's like, "Ew, guys, it was super impressive that I won $1 million. Like, that took a lot of hard work and a lot of skill. That took a lot of grinding every single day. I woke up at 6 a.m. every single day and read the Constitution by candlelight." I'm just kidding, I add that part in. "But guys, like, I worked really hard. Can you just, like, appreciate it for once, dude?" And Kyle's like, "Bro, like, this is cool that you won the lottery or whatever, but we're not going to congratulate you on randomly winning a lottery ticket. Like, most lottery ticket winners that are smart, dude, they put that money into like the index funds, and they buy stocks, and then they also don't tell everyone about it. Like, they don't want to be flashy with it. And also, bro, not to burst your bubble, but after taxes, you're probably only taking home about like $500,000 or less. Probably less than that. You'd probably be smart to go to a financial advisor and put them all into index funds, or put them in the stock market, man. I know it sounds kind of boring, but you'll have a safer and more secure life, and you'll actually be able to do more." And at the end of it, Ben's like, "Bro, I think I literally just died 7 times listening to how boring that was. So while you guys are being jealous, I'm going to go over and show off my new iPad to my other friends." And the spoiled kid gets up and he goes over and walks over to like the other table. And Kyle kind of looks around the other guys. He's like, "Is he going to keep doing this? Like, I get it. He won like $1 million, which he's only going to keep less than half of it. But is he really going to like bring in everything that he buys with that lottery ticket winning into school and to show off to everyone? Is he seriously going to do that every single time?" And all the other kids are like, "I don't know, man, but it's definitely getting a little stale. It's definitely getting a little bit boring, right?" So the next day, the spoiled kid comes into school, and he has a Gucci shirt on, like one of those stupid Gucci. Okay, I'm not gonna come for you if you like the hype beast stuff, because like there's a certain look. I spend money on stupid things sometimes. Like, I spend a lot of money on food, where that's kind of like stupid sometimes. Like, I pay for overpriced food sometimes, so I can't really rag on you guys too hard. However, personally, I'm not a big fan of spending like $700 on a t-shirt. I just don't really see that. I understand quality clothes, but there's a little bit of a difference. But he comes in with this like $500 Gucci shirt. He sits down. He's like, "Guys, what's up, guys?" And they all kind of look at him. And he's like, "Notice anything different about me today?" And Kyle's like, "Well, you got a new shirt. Like, that's cool, dude. Like, congrats, I think." And they're all kind of just looking at him, and they're just like, "What? Like, what?" He's like, "Guys, do you not see my new shirt that I have on right now?" And they're all kind of like, "Yeah, dude, we do see your shirt. Like, nice Gucci shirt, bro, but we don't really care. Like, yeah, we know that you won the lottery, bro. Like, you don't need to tell us a billion more times. We can see. We have eyes, and we also have memory that's longer than 2 seconds. We remember you saying that." He's like, "Yeah, but this shirt is totally drip, right, guys?" And they're like, "I guess, man. Like, look, we're just at a point where congrats, but we also at this point, we do not care." It's basically what they're trying to say. So Ben goes off, and basically for the next 2 weeks, he continues to flex. I'm not just going to tell you those because I feel like it's all kind of the same after a certain point, but he's always buying something new and coming in. So anyways, fast forward to the weekend, and Kyle was chilling at his house. And that's when he gets a call from his friend Steve. And anyways, Steve calls him up. He's like, "Hey, man, really weird question, but hear me out." And Kyle, obviously a little intrigued when someone says, "Weird question, hear me out." You're going to listen, right? Anyway, Steve says, "Hey, man, so the spoiled kid kind of just showed up at my house today and said that he's feeling like a sleepover right now. So I have family over, and I can't have him over. However, he said that he's going to go to your house. So..." And Kyle's like, "What? Like, bro, we're not even close like that. Like, what does that even mean?" And, Steve's like, "Yeah, it's really weird. He showed up all by himself, with like a backpack full of stuff. And he didn't show up with his mom, which is really weird. And also when he said, I'm going to go like to like Kyle's house, he literally just started walking because they all live like generally in the same neighborhood. However, walking from Steve's house to Kyle's house was still like a 20-minute walk. So he's like, yeah, he's on foot walking to your house right now. He left about 5 minutes ago. So you probably got 15, 20 minutes to just a heads up. And Kyle, who's just kind of sitting there, is so confused. Kyle's mom isn't back yet, but she's going to be back pretty soon. So anyways, in about 10 minutes, Kyle hears a ring on the doorbell. And sure enough, the spoiled kid is out there. He's like, hey, man, I was just really feeling like a sleepover right now. And Kyle's like, oh, well, dude, like, you should probably let me know beforehand. Like, I think my mom might have something planned for tonight. And he's like, oh, where's she right now? Kyle's like, oh, she's gone, but she'll be coming back soon. The spoiled kid's like, oh, well, we can just wait for her to come back. And Kyle's like, oh, shit. Yeah, sure, man. And like, speak of the devil, Kyle's mom immediately pulls in as soon as he's done saying that. And she walks over and she's like, oh, spoiled kid. Says his actual name, but spoiled kid, how's it going? Like, I was just talking with your mom. I love your mom. She's so funny. Like, oh, what are you doing here? And the spoiled kid's like, so I was really just feeling like a sleepover today. And I was wondering if it'd be okay if I could stay at Kyle's house tonight. And Kyle's mom's like, oh, yes, he has nothing to do tonight. He normally has sports games or goes out with friends, but tonight is like the only night that he has to himself. Of course you can come over. And Kyle is just like, bro, you cannot be serious. You cannot be serious, bro. But anyways, right, so Kyle's like, okay, whatever, fine, I'll deal with it. And he's like, okay, man, come on in. Kyle's a little bit upset because Kyle's mom said it perfectly. This was like the one night that Kyle actually had to himself because he played on like the football team. So there was always like sporting events. And he also had other friends that he just like had stuff with. I mean, he was always like doing other stuff with his other friends. So this was his one night to chill, his one night to relax, maybe watch a movie, maybe play a video game, maybe hop on a call with someone he doesn't see that often. But no, he has to spend the night with the spoiled kid, the kid that he dislikes and has disliked even more because of what happened this week. But anyways, right, Kyle's kind of just, they're just chilling. It is low-key kind of awkward, but also Kyle's kind of just confused about how the whole thing even happened in the first place. Because, like, dude just showed up to the house. However, this is because the spoiled kid was just exposed for what he did. Real quick, if you made it this far into the video, comment spoiled down below. That will be the secret word of the day. And also, if you've been enjoying the videos and you want to help the channel, there is one easy thing that really helps me out. Literally, all you have to do is maybe after this video, maybe later today, literally just watch a bunch of my old videos. So you can go to my playlist or you can just click on one of my videos and have them autoplay. If you binge watch a bunch of my old videos, it tells it tells YouTube's algorithm to promote my channel more. So please let me know in the comment section how many videos you've watched today, how you watch, what you do while watching my videos. Just let me know that stuff in the comment section right now so I can heart and say thank you to as many comments as I possibly can, because it's literally helps me out so much and I really, really do appreciate you guys. Anyways, let's get back to the story because the spoiled kid has been exposed and he's literally on the run right now. But yeah, let's just get into it. So, Kyle's mom is like, hey, like, spoiled kid, like, I was just talking with your mom yesterday. Like, do you, I should call, like, should I call her up? Like, say hello? Like, does she know that you're here? And the spoiled kid's like, yes, no need to talk to my mom. She knows I'm here. In fact, she is really sick right now, so I don't think she can talk. So no need to call my mom because she is not feeling that well. So no need to call, like, he just kept repeating again and again and again, like, you do not need to call my mom. And Kyle was kind of just like, bro, what is going on right now? Because... yeah, why would he say a billion times, you do not need to call my mom, dude? Like, you do not need to call my mom. Like, why would you need to say that again and again? Like, I think he's got the message, bro. Like, chill out. Oh, my God. But anyways, right, Kyle thinks that's a little suspicious, but he doesn't think that much of it. That is until, a little bit more time goes by, And Ben's mom shows up into the room that they're in because they're sitting on this like couch where there's like a TV on. At this point, Kyle's like, all right, well, this kid and I aren't boys, so it's not like we're going to like talk about anything anyways. So might as well just put on like a television program. Like, what else are we going to do? So that's when Kyle's mom walks in as they're sitting there watching TV, and says, hey, spoiled kid, I was just on your mom's Facebook page and she posted that you've gone missing. And at this point, Kyle is starting to put together what is actually happening. Kyle is starting to realize that there's a reason why the spoiled kid just showed up at Steve's house and then just showed up at his house. It's because the spoiled kid is on the run. That's why he didn't show up with his mom. That's why he came over to Kyle's house, someone that he is not friends with, to have a quote-unquote sleepover. It wasn't a sleepover, it was a stakeout. And at this point, Kyle's like, why is he on the run? And then he's thinking, what could he be on the run for? And that's when Kyle realizes there's a decent chance that the spoiled kid did not win money, but instead stole this stuff from his parents. And Kyle's like, oh my God. And the spoiled kid responds to Kyle's mom saying, oh, I'm sorry. I must have forgotten to tell my mom that I was coming over here. Don't worry about that. I'm going to send her a text right now and everything will be just all right. And Kyle's mom's like, honey, are you sure? Like, she seems really worried. Maybe she'd feel better if I told her as well. And he was like, no, don't worry about it. Like, I know my mom. Like, she just needs a text from me and me alone. So do not send a text to my mom. I got this. Thank you very much for letting me know. And Kyle's mom's like, okay then, and walks into the other room. And that's when the spoiled kid waits for Kyle's mom to leave the room and turns to Kyle and is like, Kyle, my close personal best friend. Kyle's like, what? He's like, dude, I need to confess something to you. I did not win the lottery. And Kyle in his head is like, called it. And he's like, the spoiled kid goes on to say, dude, I just like, my mom left her credit card like out. I copied down the details and I just bought a bunch of stuff. I couldn't control myself. It was so sick and the drip was so hard. It went so hard, man. And I really wanted a new iPhone and iPad, and the watches just looked so good. They were in the Amazon recommended, and I just bought a bunch of things. And Kyle's like, okay, how much did you spend? He's like $15,000. And Kyle's like, $15,000? What? You spent $15,000? And, you know, Kyle, spoiled kid, sorry. The spoiled kid's like, yeah. And, like, things were going really well. But that's when, you know, I got home and like I could see it. My mom and dad were in the living room and they had all these papers out. My mom was pacing back on the phone. I knew it then that I was busted. I can't even believe that I lasted a week, man. So I went inside very quietly, ran upstairs, put all the stuff into my backpack, and I ran over to the first person I could think of, which was Steve. And I just said I wanted a sleepover, man, but Steve couldn't have me because he had his parents over or grandparents over. And I was thinking, who else am I friends with who would support me in my time of need? I thought of you, Kyle. I thought of you because I knew for a fact that you would support me in my time of need. And Kyle's just like, okay, bro. And he's like, dude, you gotta promise not to tell. And Kyle kind of looks at him and is like, you know, this kid is obviously lost. Like, he's a jerk and he sucks, but like, you know, he messed up and I should give him some real advice. So Kyle's like, dude, look, eventually you're gonna have to go home. And eventually you're gonna have to deal with the consequences of what you did here. I know it sucks. I know you don't want to. I bet if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't want to go home either. But maybe you should just tell your mom where you are so she can come pick you up. It's going to happen one way or another. And the spoiled kid is looking at him. And he just goes on to say, so you hate me then? And Kyle's like, dude, what? And the spoiled kid's like, you want to turn me in because I'm too much trouble. You want me to suffer. You don't want the best for me. And Kyle's like, dude, do you really think that you're going to be able to live the rest of your life never dealing with this? And the spoiled kid's like, well, I've made it this far, so probably. And Kyle's like, man, okay, think about it honestly. You know that eventually you're going to have to face your parents. We're like in 6th grade, dude. You got a lot more school to go with. You can't survive by yourself yet. So you're going to have to face your parents eventually. I'm not going to force you to do anything. Fine. Stay here as long as you want, within reason. You're getting kicked out if it's more than 2 to 3 days. But stay here for a little bit if you really want to. I'm not going to help you, but I'm also not going to turn you in, which I think is probably the best deal that you're going to get anywhere. Spoiled kid. Here's what he says and kind of acknowledges that, yeah, probably anyone else is going to turn him in at this point. So he's like, okay, fine, like whatever. And that's when they hear a car pull up. And the spoiled kid looks outside and he's like, no, this can't be happening. No. And Kyle's like, what the fuck? Huh? Like, bro, are you good? And spoiled kid's like, no. Your mom must have called them. Your mom must have called my mom on me. No, dude, no. At this point, right, Kyle's just kind of like looking. He goes outside and looks. And Kyle's mom walks in. And she's just like, hey, so I don't know if your text went through to your mom because just to be sure, I sent her another message on Facebook just letting her know that you're here and safe. She said she said thank you and that she was coming over, so I guess your mom, maybe you forgot your toothbrush? I mean, I could have totally given you a toothbrush. And the spoiled kid's like, no time for that, woman! Okay, I don't know if he says that, but guys, that would be pretty funny if he said that. But he runs up the stairs, like he kind of looks at Kyle's mom and Kyle, runs up the stairs, runs into Kyle's room, and locks himself in Kyle's room. And Kyle's mom's like, did I say something? And Kyle's like, okay, it's a long story. So he sits his mom down, and he's like, Mom, so the spoiled kid just explained to me that he stole $15,000 from his parents, and he's on the run. And Kyle's mom, who had a little bit of a smile and a little bit of confusion and a little bit of whatever, right? It immediately turns into, what the fuck? Dude, what the fuck? Huh? Bro, are we good right now? And she's just like, oh my God, like that's really serious, dude. Okay, I don't know if she says dude, but hear me out. And she's like, that's really serious. Like, and where did he just go? And Kyle's like, well, it looks like he just ran upstairs and locked himself into my room. And that's when they hear. And, Kyle's like, oh, okay, that didn't sound good. Kyle's mom's like, oh, I guess spoiled kid's mom is pretty insistent on getting him. So Kyle and the spoiled kid walk up and they open the door and they see the spoiled kid's mom, who is just looking enraged. She looks at Kyle's mom and says, hey, Janet, I'm so sorry. Like, I need to get my son right now. He's been a bad boy recently, and we need to have a little bit of a talk. And Janet's like, or the spoiled kid's mom, I guess, or Kyle's mom, I guess her name is Janet, but we're going to call her Kyle's mom, right? She's like, yeah, so when he heard that you were coming, he ran upstairs and locked himself in my son's room. I don't know really what to do about that because the door locks one way and there's only a key. And the spoiled kid's mom's like, drat, he's ahead of me. Well, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to drag him out of there. So anyway, she kind of pushes back past Kyle, and Kyle's mom says, lead me to your son's room. And Kyle's mom's like, okay. And Kyle's like, all right, bro, like, let's not break anything. I like my room being in one piece without a broken door. That would be sick, And so they walk up the stairs, and the spoiled kid's mom immediately starts yelling like, spoiled kid, middle name, last name. When a parent calls out your first, middle, and last name, you already know that you're screwed at that point. So she blurts out like first, middle, last name. If you don't get out of that room right now, your punishment will be twice as bad as it's already going to be. And your punishment is already pretty freaking bad. And at this point, the spoiled kid's like, I'm not coming out of the room because I didn't do anything wrong. And, spoiled kid's mom's like, don't you start with that, mister. You don't know the value of money. You stole my credit card and you have no respect for me. I have supported you for the last 14 years of your life. I have given you everything you ever wanted. I have been a supportive mother. And this is how you repay me, robbing me blind and then running away. You can't even face your mistakes.
The spoiled kid's like, Mom, I didn't do anything wrong. You just left the credit card there and I just spent it. Like, it was a glitch. A hacker got to it. It was the internet stealing from you. A hacker stole your credit card and sent, like, the Gucci clothes to my house. I don't know why the hacker did that, but the hacker chose. She's like, enough from you. I know what you did. At this point, Kyle and Kyle's mom are just staring at each other like, bro, why is this happening in our house? Bro. And at this point, spoiled kid's mom's like, I'm giving you to a count of 3 to unlock that door and come out here before I get you out of there myself. And Kyle's like, dude, oh my God. She's like, 3. Spoiled kid's like, I'm not coming out, Mom. I'm not, you can just go. It's not worth your time. 2. He's like, Mom, I already told you I'm not going to come out of here. 1. He's like, you're wasting your time, Mom. And that's when the spoiled kid's mom, look, she was a little bit bigger. She was a larger woman that, and she wasn't like in a mobility scooter. She could still kind of walk, right? So she literally, like, football charges shoulder first into the door. And, yeah, she breaks through the door, destroying Kyle's lock. And Kyle's like, dude, bro, oh my God. And she bursts through the door, and the spoiled kid is screaming like, ah! Okay, my voice is starting to go, so I'm not gonna do the scream. But he's like, ah! And like the spoiled kid's mom, after smashing through the door, has so much momentum that she loses balance and smashes right into Kyle's desk. Thankfully, Kyle moved his computer, but he always had his computer at his desk. So she smashes into Kyle's desk, destroying like half the stuff on it, collapsing into the floor, and the spoiled kid sprints out of Kyle's room. And Kyle's like, dude, you gotta be shitting me, bro. What the fuck? Bro, what? Yeah, so, yeah, he runs out, runs past Kyle's mom and Kyle, runs down the stairs, and, Kyle's mom goes over to help the spoiled kid's mom, and, you know, she's like, where did that little twerp go? And she's like, he ran downstairs. So they all get up, and Kyle's kind of looking at his destroyed room. He's like, okay, I guess this is my life. Sigh. But anyways, right, they all get up, and they all start going downstairs. And they see the spoiled kid run to the door and run outside. And she's like, that little twerp won't be able to outrun me for long. Quickly, follow me. So, like, the spoiled kid's mom literally tells Kyle and Kyle's mom to follow her. The spoiled kid goes to her car and gets in the car and, like, says to, like, Kyle, like, don't lose sight on that kid. And Kyle's like, okay. Get in the car. He's like, okay. So they both get into the back seat, or Kyle gets in the front seat because he probably has better vision. Kyle's mom is literally in the back seat, and the spoiled kid's mom starts driving quickly too. Like, she is like speeding towards her son, who is running on the sidewalk. And the spoiled kid, for some reason, I think thinks he's like, I don't know, the Flash or Superman, because he keeps running, probably thinking that he himself can outrun a car, which is like, bro, no, you cannot. But whatever, right? And yeah, he just keeps running and running and running and running. And that's when, you know, Kyle's mom honestly slows down the car so that she's at the same speed as him and rolls down the window and says, nowhere else to run, buddy. I got you now. Come on home. And it like, just come on, get in the car. He's like, no, I'm never getting in the car. And at this point, like, he takes like a left turn into someone's like backyard. And at this point, Kyle's mom, or like spoiled kid's mom, is like, Kyle, I give you permission to tackle my son. Because Kyle is a football player. And like, he low-key wanted to do this from the start, but he also didn't want to get in trouble with spoiled kid's mom because she was kind of a scary woman, low-key, like the way that she was raging right now. Totally justifiable to rage, but she was low-key scary AF. But anyways, Kyle's like, all right, man, like, I got you with that. So he gets out, and he sees the spoiled kid running. And he's running not parallel to the road so the car can't follow him, but he's running like in between a house. And Kyle's like, yells out like, I'll give you one chance to come north, like, come here now, you won't get hurt. Spoiled kid's like, I can outrun you, dude. Like, you're not actually that fast. And that's when that was a terrible thing to say, because that's exactly when Kyle just like, is like, oh, starts sprinting at him. Kyle was like fast too, dude. He was like a fast and agile sports guy. He's just sprinting full speed at the spoiled kid, and the spoiled kid lets out a shriek like, okay, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to lose my voice any more than I already am. And at that point, so he closes in on the spoiled kid, and then he goes for the tackle. He gets the spoiled kid. The spoiled kid hits the ground. He's like, ow, you broke my face. He didn't actually break anything. It was a pretty clean tackle. And yeah, so we got the spoiled kid. Now the spoiled kid like tries to get out of his grasp. And Kyle goes around, grabs both of his arms tightly, gets him in a position where the spoiled kid literally can't go anywhere. Spoiled kid was pretty small and unathletic anyway, so it's not like he was going to win in a fight or something. And yeah, that's when Kyle and the spoiled kid, Kyle's mom and the spoiled kid's mom, gets out of the car and walks over. And the spoiled kid's mom just looks at the spoiled kid. And they kind of just look at each other. And the spoiled kid stops squirming. And that's when he proceeds to burst into tears. Like, I'm not saying, like, he's crying or sobbing. He is, like, explosion. Okay, he is sobbing. I guess that's a good word. It's like, just kind of like when a baby falls down and they just go insane. Or when you don't give them, like, their 10th scoop of ice cream for the minute. Like, they're like, oh, my God, the world is over. Kind of like that kind of screaming, right? And the spoiled kid's mom is like, nope, mister, that trick is not going to work on me. Get in the car.